Shalom. Further start by saying all praise to Yahweh Shema Shai, by Shem Kakadash, double honors to the elders and the apostles of who well, and salutations to the brothers and sisters of the truth and sincerity. As you can see, the title of this video is 5 Children Killed in New York Crash. 9-year-old boy survives. So I'm going to play this clip, and I got a couple more clips with this, and I'm at the precepts.
Tonight, a community faces unimaginable heartbreak after a late-night drive took the lives of 5 young people. They were traveling along the Hutchinson River Parkway in Westchester County when their vehicle crashed into a tree just north of Mamaroneck Road in Scarsdale. News 4's Jessica Cunnington is live at Westchester Medical Center with what we know about the crash and the victims. Jessica? Well, Gilma, I spoke with a family member over the phone, and understandably, they do not want to speak out at this time. And really, there's no words. We're talking about 5 young kids who all died together. They were about an hour away from home. And that one sole survivor, as you mentioned, that 9-year-old little boy who was brought to recover here at Westchester Medical Center. So many questions about how this happened. 5 kids from Connecticut, possibly from the same family, dead in a horrific crash on the Hutchinson River Parkway overnight.
Right off the ramp, onto the hutch.
Police say a 16-year-old boy was behind the wheel of the SUV when it veered off the hutch in Scarsdale around 12:20, hit a tree, and burst into flames.
One car fully engulfed. County PD on scene.
The 6 young people inside the car ranged in age from 17 to 8 years old. A 9-year-old boy was the only survivor. Police say he was apparently riding in the trunk area and was able to escape out the back. He was taken here to Westchester Medical Center with non-life-threatening injuries. We're told the victims were all from Derby, Connecticut, the smallest city in the state, which is now mourning 5 children it lost. Less than 24 hours earlier on the Southern State Parkway in Suffolk County, Long Island, another deadly crash involving teenagers. A 16-year-old behind the wheel of a car that veered off the road, hit trees and brush on the shoulder, and the 17-year-old in the passenger seat died there at the scene. And in both of those recent deadly crashes with 16-year-olds who were driving at the time, whether we're talking about New York or Connecticut, there are restrictions, of course, for either junior permit holders or learner's permit holders about when they can drive and also who can be in the car, mainly someone in the car to supervise them. Still, so many questions, of course, about what led up to this particular crash on the hutch. Again, 5 kids dead and 1 9-year-old boy who survived. So much love and support pouring into that Connecticut family tonight. And we also know the Westchester County Police are investigating what led up to the crash. Outside Westchester Medical Center tonight, I'm Jessica Cunnington, News 4 New York.
Right now, Planet Fitness, you can get that big fitness energy for just $1.
Abortion is illegal in Wisconsin, with no exceptions for the health of the mother. If Dan Kelly is elected, there's no stopping the attacks on our rights. Kelly is an extremist who sides against women. Vote no on Dan Kelly.
Mourning after a devastating loss.
All right, this is just another video. They're just going to show the car. And then they got another clip where they show the kids in the GoFundMe, as you can see at the bottom. So
Pray for the family, for God to give them the strength to go through this situation. Amen.
Westchester County investigators say 16-year-old lost.
Pray for the family, for God to give them the strength to go through this situation.
Right, man. So, the ministers and pastors and priests are not really looking after the flock, man. They just in it for their gain, for their quarter, whatever they can get. Jake them knew what town they was living in. Ain't nowhere in hell would you be letting your kid at 16-year-old without even a permit drive his younger siblings or cousins, whoever they were, to get to no crib at night where he got to drive more than an hour. That shit don't even, make sense. But And that's just knowing the time. You know, Jake be having to do what they have to do sometimes. But he won't listen to his mom and dad no way. You know, that's why he got judged, man. You're supposed to be listening to your parents. You know? So give me 1 second. All right, this is Proverbs 22:6. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Right. So at a young age, you're supposed to be training up your children to be the righteous. The Israelites were the righteous. They're supposed to be following the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability. You know, at the age of 12, they become a man. You know, and that's when they are under the law. You know, so he would have known to go and listen to his parents. This is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1. And this is one of the precepts my mom used to always read to us. Me and my siblings. This is Ephesians 6:1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right, man. As long as they, not saying as long as they're in the Lord, but yeah, as long as they in the Lord, man. You know, you still have to deal with your parents if they're not in the truth, but you still have to adhere to the law, statutes, commandments in the scriptures, man. And your parents, if they're not um, adhering to um, the doctrine of life, then if you're old enough, you don't have to obey them. And depending on what it is, if you're in a house, you have to listen. You know, if they tell you to eat pork, you know not to eat pork and shit like that. Take the MOTB, you know not to do stuff like that. You know, so. But Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise. Let me look up this word honor. I'm going on a regular dictionary. High respect, great esteem, adherence to what is right, or to a conventional standard of conduct. Right, man? So respect your parents. Let me see what it means in the etymology. Etymology, etymology, for you new brothers, which tells the true sense of the word. If I'm not mistaken, that's what the word etymology meant. The true sense, what the word really means, going back all the way to the first century type situation. You know, all the way back. You know, before it became in this English dictionary. Okay, let's see. Honor as a verb in the etymology mid 13th century. Honoring, to do honor to, show respect to. From Old French, honor, respect, esteem, revere, which means respect. So you're supposed to respect your parents, man. From Latin, Honorare, to honor, from honor, honor, dignity, office, reputation, see honor. All right, yep. So you're supposed to respect your parents, and when they give you instructions, you're supposed to take heed to those instructions as long as they righteous instructions, man. You don't supposed to go out and kill nobody for your parents and sell drugs like the parents of Israel will have them to do, you know. So, Hakia, give me 1 second. All right, this is back at Ephesians chapter 6, verse 1. Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Honor thy father and mother, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with thee and thou mayest live long on the earth. Right, so if you want to live long on the earth, you will adhere to what your parents got to say according to the gospel, man, according to the doctrine, man. And if they're not in the doctrine, you still, supposed to give them that respect, help your parents out, etc. It says, verse 4, and ye fathers provoke not your children to wrath, but bring them up in the nurture, and admonition of the Lord. All right, so everybody has a lot to play, a part to play. Colossians chapter 3, verse 20, children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well pleasing unto the Lord. This is what your pastor is supposed to be teaching the children. They're supposed to be proving it to you, man. Showing you the scriptures, what's in the text, in the Bible, and what's to happen if you don't adhere to the judgment, man, to the order being given, man. Proverbs 1:8, my son, hear the instruction of thy father, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Exodus 20:12, because Jacob them evil, man. These children are out of control. Especially since they're being raised by their mothers. The children be selling drugs for their mothers, kill for their mothers, get into shootouts with their mothers, etc., man. Why? Because the woman, the Esau, the white man, has put the woman over the household, and that's against the scriptures. So the house is destroyed. The man is out the house, creating more and more babies, but can't take care of them, and he out in the streets, etc. Man. So, but this is happening because we sinned against Yahweh Shema Shai. So this was the way that the Lord got back at us. But now we have the truth, and it's commanded that we repent, man. Exodus 20:12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. This Proverbs 13:24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son. So you're supposed to whoop your children, man and woman, the mother and the father. But Esau will have you not do it, and have it to where you get locked up for it, and the kids get taken away from you, children. Like as if the children know what the hell they're talking about at them ages, man. You don't. It's like a spiritual thing. When you get older, that's when you understand more, and that's when the spirit makes it to where you understand more, man. You know. Proverbs 13 down. Fucking demon, man. Proverbs 13:24. He that spareth his rod hateth his son. So if you don't whip your children, you hate your kids. But he that loveth him chasten him betimes, right? So you're supposed to chasten your children. And then there's plenty more, man. This is what your priests and your pastors are supposed to be teaching you, your mothers. in the house. She's the keeper of the house, so to speak, man. You know, this Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 18. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, and you know what the word rebellious means, man. Let me look it up real fast. Rebellious, showing a desire to resist authority, control, or convention. Right, man. So you know when your children just is always bucking up against you, don't want to hear nothing you got to say, giving you them crazy eyes and crazy looks and shit. Like this bitch gonna stop talking to me, or it's gonna be a problem type. You know how it is. You know how your children is, man. Same shit you used to do with your parents. But this is back at Deuteronomy chapter 21, verse 18. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and that when they have chastened him, he will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him and bring him out unto the elders of his city and unto the gate of his place, and they shall say unto the elders of his city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and a drunkard. And all the men of his city shall stone him with stones that he die. So shalt thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear and fear. So whenever your son was rebellious back in the day, he was stoned. All right, now I'm gonna finish playing the clip.
Family, for God to give them the strength to go through this situation. Amen.
Westchester County investigators say 16-year-old Malik Smith was driving this SUV from Westchester, New York to Connecticut with his 5 young relatives early Sunday morning. That's when Smith crashed into a tree on the Hutchinson River Parkway. The vehicle burst into flames, killing himself, his cousins, Zanaya and Chanel Cross, who were sisters, and Anthony and Andrew Billups, who were brothers. A third brother, 9-year-old Abraham Billups, was riding in the rear cargo hold and survived. Smith did not even have his learner's permit. No other vehicles were involved.
The evidence on the scene indicates, but subject to final investigation assessment, is that the operator was either distracted or fell asleep.
Smith's father, also named Malik, declined to appear on camera, but told CBS 2 family members kept warning his son about driving without a license. Family's neighbors had kind words about the children.
Nice family, well-mannered children, respectful.
But I saw one of the boys come in one day with one of the siblings, and he was so happy, respectful, smiling. And when she said that was him, it was heartbreaking. I prayed for them this morning.
The circumstances surrounding the crash are still under investigation. For Inside Edition Digital, I'm Stephanie All.
Right, man. So Jake be having to pay for what they have done in their past life. People say, damn, I forget the precept. It's in Job. Well, whoever perished being innocent, man. Not innocent. Everybody has a judgment coming to them. you know, because there's a such thing as reincarnation. So, just to put it in basics. But this is Jeremiah chapter 7, verse 16. Therefore, pray not thou for this people, neither lift up cry nor prayer for them, neither make intercession to me, for I will not hear thee. Right, man? So, just the precept, not praying for these people because the time to get right is now. And, you know, you'll be telling somebody up until their death, and they'd be like, you had your chance, man. You know, and then it's a waste. It ain't like it's a sin, but it's a waste of time. You know, there's more evils to come, more people to die. You got family members that's finna die, cousins and stuff that's finna die. They sinning against Yahweh Shem Shai, man. So if they don't respect the Lord, they definitely don't respect you because they coming in the spirit of the Lord, which spirit you coming in, man. You know, so that Christian doctrine shit is nonsense, man. Jeremiah 11:14. Therefore pray not thou for this people, neither lift up a cry or prayer for them, for I will not hear them in the time that they cry unto me for their trouble. That's why the scriptures say, seek the Lord while he may be found, man. You know, and then it also says, in the day of thy power that they shall be willing. They gonna keep sinning all the way up until the last minute when the spiritual power is given, and then that's when they gonna want to correct themselves, man. And for a lot of them, it's gonna be too late, man. You know, especially for the people over here that's in America that is not part of the elect. You know, once the elect come out of them ships and start to retake the world, those who alive, a lot of them gonna listen, and a lot of them gonna die. You know, so I got one more clip, and then I'm gonna end it off. There's been a lot of car crashes, man.
Skyfox over a fatal accident in Compton where a car slammed into a commercial building on West Victoria. The driver was trapped. Firefighters cut her out of the wreckage, but she was already dead. No word of alcohol or speed was a factor in the crash.
All right, so I'm gonna end it with. Well, hold on. I got two precepts. This is Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Early morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. Right, man. So plain as day. This is Ezekiel chapter 9. Verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. It says, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. That's the angels, man, going through Israel and taking out, killing people. Slay utterly, old and young, both maids and little children, and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient or the elders, men which were before the house. Right, so the angels is going around killing people, man. So with that being said, call law. Yahweh Shema Shai, double honors to the elders and the apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.